QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy Rashad. It's your boy Dave in the building. And the Panthers are 0-5. Dave, how about that?
How
How about that?
How about
0
that?
0-5, the Carolina Panthers. And hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, today is going to be a different type of show. I ain't got no slides. I ain't put together no slides. It's none of that today.
I have a confession.
Go ahead, Dave.
I just watched
You
the
didn't
game.
watch?
I just watched the game literally an hour ago.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah.
And
it was terrible.
I won my hour back.
Yeah, I see you got was that tequila you got next to you? You were so bad you started sipping?
No. This was my normal
the
go-to. But
Balvenie?
I got something.
Yeah,
I got something a little bit different this week though. I was down in Durham, man, so I went and got the Paw Miracle. You know, little brother got their own beer. They had their own exclusive beer at the festival this weekend.
Got you.
So I'm gonna be drinking that.
Yeah, okay, I feel you. I mean, Panthers fan is keep pouring. I guess that's what we're rolling with. But yeah, no slides today. Listen, it's all about we got to talk. Okay, we got to talk. It's a lot going on right now. And I know a lot of people want to express and vent. So this is going to be a safe space. I'm going to invite folks in to vent once we get started. Because I'm tired of talking. I get up here and I say the same thing. For the past 5 weeks, I've said the same stuff. And I'm gonna be honest. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've said, and what I thought would happen, it just has not happened. The Panthers are not a good team. I feel like there are several things that are the reason as to why that is. But I don't know. But Dave, we'll quickly break down the game. And
what is there to break down?
Not break down. I didn't mean break down. We'll quickly give our overview of the game, and then we'll get into the bigger issues at hand. So, Dave,
Rashad,
you said you just watched the game. Go ahead. I mean, we gotta address the game.
Do you want my overview?
I do.
We were down 14-0 in the first quarter, and we didn't get the 14 points until the fourth. At that point, the game was already in past the sticks mode. The game was over. Mm-hmm. We were behind the ball the entire time. We had no chance from the gate. There was one turnover in the first quarter. It was just that made us 14-0. We kept making mistakes, and every turnover they turned into a touchdown. It was just bad. Just bad. I mean, and the thing is, like I said when we went on 4, that the best chance we got is Detroit, and Detroit destroyed us. So what do you think Miami going to do to us next week?
Yeah, Miami going to dog walk us, dog. Like it's about to be bad. It's almost that I don't even want to watch the game. Like I don't think I've gotten to a point. I mean, we're gonna watch, but it's like why? Like for what? Like for what are we watching for?
You're on your Ricky Waters for who? For what?
Yeah, what are we doing? I mean, it's like that, and I can't even say. I don't even think I got to this point. I'm being transparent. I'm just talking here as a fan. I don't even think it was this bad. I don't think I felt this bad even under Matt Rule, bro. I'm gonna be is that right or wrong? I don't think I felt this bad as a fan even under Matt Rule. And that's saying a lot.
I tweeted when somebody said have patience, and my retweet was Matt Rule never started 0-4. He never started 0-4.
Yeah, and it's the context to that, and the reason why it's so frustrating is, and I've said this, during the game, and the more I think about it, the more frustrating it is that we were sold, we got this amazing coaching staff, and I feel like that is the reason why we're garbage. This coaching staff is the reason and I don't listen. I see there's a lot of Bryce hate out there. It's a lot of hate to pass around all over. Like everybody's getting it's from Tepper all the way down. Dude's looking defeated. Like you see Frank Wright get up there and he is, I mean, the more and more I hear from him, and I will give him a little bit of grace. And I do think some of the stuff he's saying, he might be covering for some folks and taking all the blame. Like when he says, that's my fault that Terrace Marshall wasn't out there. Well, first of all, who cares if Terrace Marshall was out there? Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he was out there or not.
I was fascinated by that whole Twitter back and forth about that. Like even though I ain't watched the game, I was looking at the streets, and the first thing I thought was when I saw them tweets was wide receiver 5. That's the first thing I said. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, wide receiver 5.
Why are we so upset that Terrace Marshall didn't hit the field? Like what is he showing you all these past 3 years that he needs to be on the field and he's a game changer? Nothing. So why are we upset? We're only upset at the fact that Frank said that he didn't know that Terrace Marshall didn't play any snaps and whatever he said in regards to that. That's the only reason why we're upset. You know what I mean? So but anyway, so Frank, people believe he's incompetent as a head coach based on the past couple of interviews, the post-game press conferences, and where he said last week, he said, I didn't know Adam Thielen. I called a play for him and he wasn't out there. Okay. And now you compound that with the Terrace Marshall. People think he's incompetent. Okay. And then you got Bryce Young, who is turning the football over. He looks lost out there sometimes. But to me, I think Bryce is going to be okay at the end of the day. Bryce has shown some things in these games where I'm like, all right, Bryce has got it. I don't blame Bryce for any of this. He's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes, interceptions, turnovers. They happen. I can live with that. There's some other, what I can't live with is you not putting Bryce in the best position to succeed. And that is the ultimate problem right now.
That's coaching.
That is coaching, and it goes to the GM in regards to personnel. So that, to me, is the biggest issue. I think Bryce is if you want to rank the concerns, and I want to do that as people come onto the show, and we're going to invite people on, as you come onto the show and talk and speak your piece about how you feel as a Carolina Panthers fan, I want you to rank your concern. Right? Is it Tepper? Well, we can't control Tepper. Like Tepper is a beast. We cannot. He's not going as much as we complain about it. As much as we cry, moan, he's not going anywhere.
The team could go somewhere because of him, but he's not going anywhere. I mean, that's the facts, right? And Charlotte has a history of running off owners. Y'all ran off Shin from the Hornets. He took the squad to New Orleans. But but there's no guarantee you'll see a Bobcat after, is my point. That eventually goes back into the Hornets. Like you don't know when you lose an NFL franchise. It could be a while.
So Tepper is not going anywhere. We can't get rid of him. We can criticize him all we want to, but he's not going anywhere. Okay. Then we're talking about, so you got Bryce. You want to blame Bryce. You want to blame Reich. You want to blame Scott Fitterer. I mean, who else are we blaming in this scenario? Right? It's what else? Rank those. So Dave, if I pose the question to you, how would you answer that question?
Who do you blame at the top?
How are you ranking? How are you ranking the blame for 0-5?
I'm blaming Tep first.
I mean, take him out. Take him out. We know he is. We know.
Oh,
we already know, but ain't nothing we can do about
it. That case, that's easy. It's Frank. Oh, it's easy then. Oh, it's Frank. Oh, if you're telling me I can't blame Tep, then it's Frank. Sorry, guys. It's Frank. It's Frank. And then he might be trying to cover for folks, and that's cute. But you're the head coach. That's your job. You're supposed to cover for folks. But it's Frank. It is Frank. You guys can say Scott all the hell you want, but let me tell you something. Scott was here last year. They weren't this bad. Scott was here the year before that. They weren't this bad. So, no, it's Frank. It is Frank. Who hired him? Because I can't blame Tep. Frank. It's Frank. It's Frank.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who hired the head coach. The guy that I can't name had a say in this. I think we all know that. But let's get these super chats before you let somebody in.
I ain't letting nobody in yet. Shout out to King Bay. He's waiting, but yeah, we'll wait for that.
Shout out to the champs. No Panthers gear. Well, I understand
why.
First things first.
I'll take them damn helmets off the wall right now.
First things first.
And I take my son down. Steve ain't going nowhere. Cam ain't going nowhere. G's ain't going nowhere. But I'll take all this shit off the wall.
Shad is wearing a T-shirt of a team that's actually won a game this year, and I commend him for that. I'm just wearing my little brother shirt. Like I was at the Made in Durham Festival last weekend. I just threw on a little brother shirt. Worked, and it's very fitting. Work through me, Lord, because good God Almighty, we got a long
It's
season
tough out
ahead
here,
of
bro.
us.
It's tough out here, bro.
So
It's
work
tough.
through me, Lord. Shout out to little brother. So yeah, no Panthers gear today, guys. Well, you got the posters in the back, you know. My camera ain't get the bottom of the poster. Steve Smith's up there, Jeremy Chin's up there. He gave up a touchdown, but it's okay.
Shout out to
That's
Keith.
what's
Said
up.
he just applied to A&T, man. Hope you get in. Aggie Pride.
Yeah,
It's tough out in these streets.
yo, listen.
Yeah, it's
If I
tough out there.
applied for A&T right now, based on the GPA I had in high school, I would
Yeah.
not get in. The
Yeah.
GPA levels are different now.
Yeah, shout out to A&T, man. It's tough out here in these streets. But I be a G-Ho, man. Holla at me. Holla at me. But yeah, man. Listen, Panthers, it sucks.
I got three more.
Good. My bad. Go ahead, Dave.
Chad, shout out to Chad. Epic rant incoming. Look, we just went through all that, and there's probably
gonna
be
get
more.
there.
It's a long show, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gonna get there.
A long day. Grandizer, appreciate the super chat, bro. If we lose the first 4 games, I'm going nuts, bro.
I said that last year.
Panthers fans, we got Monkey Paul. Oh man, and his Dolphins out here balling out of their mind. We got to play them next week. Oh God. Yeah. Caleb, appreciate the super chat. My girlfriend told me I should have been a 49ers fan when CMC left. Hopefully, we'll all see better days.
Had that opportunity, man. That gold, that red and gold looking good, ain't it? Looking mightily good.
Was you know what? That's Steve Smith's that was Steve Smith's childhood team. I mean, we could just
we could just slide up
in there.
Niner Nation podcast.
Niner Nation, man. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. Let's put it on our application, Dave. We gonna get up out of here.
NNP, change the colors a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
It's rough out here, bro. I strongly considered it yesterday. I was like, man,
my brother's a huge 49ers fan. So he's loving every second of this.
I was like, man, you know what, man? It might be time. It might be time to hang it up, man. It's tough. It's tough out here, bro. It's tough out here for Panthers fans, and it sucks. Everybody catching strays. It's frustrating. All you can do is laugh. Like it's nothing. I can pull everything up. We can break it down. We can talk it, but nothing is getting better. Nothing is getting better. It's the same thing every week. And listen, injuries are the injuries. They happen. You got to have depth. We don't have the depth. We talked about that, and I think that has to go on Fitter for not building the depth behind some of these guys, especially the cornerback position. When we knew we had guys that had injury history, both of which are out right now. Like we knew that we saw this coming. You know what I mean? And I saw a little a little comment there talking about CJ Train. Listen, CJ Henderson is the least of our concerns right now. He is the absolute least of our concerns. If you want to get back at me for being creating the CJ Train, cool. But CJ is the least of our concerns right now.
CJ ain't the reason for the season, guys.
He is the least of our concerns.
Nah, he ain't the reason for the season, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, listen, it's bad out here, bro. We got a lot of issues. The defense is trying to do their thing.
We ain't got issues, bro. We got issues.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad
out here. It's bad out here in these streets, man. But yeah, I think there's a couple topics that I want to, before we start letting people in. Couple things. I want to know what you feel about Brian Burns, and because obviously I watched Steve Smith's rebuild or retool episode that he just released. I watched that, and they went position by position, and they talked about whether this thing is basically a rebuild or I'm tired of hearing both of those, because we've heard that BS for a long time now.
Since Marty Hurdy was the GM.
We've heard it. I'm sick of it. Can we just build? Why we gotta Can we just build something? We don't even have a foundation. We don't even have a foundation. What are we building on? There's no foundation. You have to have a foundation to build upon.
We got a rookie quarterback.
Bro, we don't have a foundation to build upon. We building on quicksand right now. So going back to that, what do you think about a complete fire sale? Getting rid of everybody. What do you think? Because I saw a trade just went down. Shout out to Van Jefferson. Just got traded to the Falcons. So what do you think? Because it's a lot of buzz out there. Mecole Hardman wants to be traded, or is on the block or whatever. What do you think about this stuff, man?
I think you got to decide what you want to do with Brian Burns for the trade deadline. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I know y'all don't want to hear this, but I want him to stay here. But now I'm questioning whether or not he wants to stay here, and I think he probably does. But it's a matter of, does he want to go through a rebuild? You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, he probably, and considering the Panthers ain't want to pay him what he wanted to make, probably won't sign a long
Yeah.
term deal.
And from what I heard, just based on listening to Steve Smith and my man from the radio show, I think Kyle Bailey, like, listen, there's a hard line in the sand for Burns. They're not budging, bro. They're not budging from that number. The number is what it is, and I feel like Fam might just, if they don't trade him, and they're not going to come to a number unless Brian Burns has an astronomical season where he has like 15, 18 sacks, then which he's probably on pace for, to be honest with you. But unless he has that, they're not going to budge, which is, you could debate whether it's the right thing to do, because if he walks up out of here and we don't get nothing for him, travesty.
It'll be the Panther way. And then people are going to be wondering, where's the pass rush at?
So met Burns today. He told him don't leave Charlotte. He was in good spirits. He may stay. Also, we are good regardless. Dave says we're Soccer City now. Yeah, I mean that's what the shirt says. The shirt says we are Soccer
Charlotte
City.
is a soccer city, not the Carolinas, but Charlotte. I just want to. Charlotte is a soccer city.
Y'all can't get. Yeah, y'all. It's Charlotte FC, not
It ain't
Columbia
Carolina
FC
FC.
Day.
Don't worry.
Relax.
Don't worry.
Y'all try to just cash in on everything we got, bro.
Nah, I mean,
Relax.
y'all enjoy our revenue too. Y'all know how much taxes y'all pay. You better relax and enjoy this revenue you getting from South Carolina, down in the Rock Hill, Columbia, Charleston area, out here driving up to these games. Relax.
The game guy says, can we talk about Max Crosby and Burns acting like he was better than him? I haven't. I gotta be honest with you. I haven't kept an eye on Max Crosby, to be honest with you. I know he gets busy. I know he's destructive out there in these streets, but I haven't seen his stats, so I can't really speak to where he is right now. Let me see. He's got 5 sacks right now in the season, so yeah, it's 2 more than Brian Burns.
But sacks ain't everything, guys.
It's not. Sacks are not everything. We can look. We can compare them. We can compare for sure. But yeah.
Shout out to Trey HG. It's funny how we traded DJ, who was signed, and now we're looking for number 1 wide receiver. Now the team act like they don't want to sign Burns. Yeah, trading DJ. I'm gonna tell you the thing that's bothersome about the DJ trade. It's the fact that we signed DJ to a deal and we still traded him. And now we got a guy that we can't sign. And now we might have to trade him because we can't sign him, which is kind of wild. Let's let some folks in, man.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it real quick. Yeah, I see Jared, but my man Christian has been waiting for a long time. All right, we about to let some people in. It's therapy session. Speak your piece. I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes just to go and say your thing. If there's nobody in here, we'll debate. But Christian, we'll let you in first. Do your thing. Well, how you feeling, bro?
Man, look, I've been so frustrated with the team and how this has been going. It's just very frustrating because for me, I just, when I hear Frank Wright talk, I don't want to hear you blaming the owner. Because for me personally, he is just like with Matt Rule. He gave you everything that you wanted. He's not Jerry Jones and trying to be in the mix. He's not that involved. He's not. He's not Jerry Jones. We have not reached that level of involvement. But Frank, this is on Frank because it just seems to me that he wanted CJ, and how the offense is structured is for CJ. It's not for Bryce. And that's why Bryce is struggling because he's a playmaker. It's like trying to put Patrick Mahomes in this offense.
So let's have a discussion about that because folks brought back those previous reports that happened back in March after the trade where they were saying that Frank wanted CJ and Tepper wanted Young. That's what the reports say. I didn't report it. Let me be clear. So do you think, like you just admitted that what Frank wants to do with his scheme is a better fit for CJ? So there's got to be a credence to having your quarterback, if that is accurate. Now, granted, if you're a coach, you should be able to coach up what you got. But even Parcells had a whole quote about the groceries, like, man, you got to let me buy the groceries or whatever. But,
listen, you put CJ Stroud in this position, it's gonna look just as bad, bro.
I agree with that.
We got a problem bigger than who our quarterback is, and that's the scary part. That's the scary part.
Absolutely.
But I think Tepper's more involved than he should be as an owner. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Yeah,
I'm not on that. Oh well, he ain't involved. No. If he out here not letting the folks that he hired do their job and overriding them, that means he's too involved. I'm gonna keep it. He's too involved.
I can't blame him though. I'm not going to sit here and, of course, that's the easy way to blame Tepper. But when he's giving you everything that you asked for all these players. Every player said, "Man, I came here for Frank. Man, I came here for Frank." I'm not going to sit here and blame. He's a new owner. He doesn't know football. He needs to hire people that know football and put them in position to help him. I feel like that is the main problem. But what we're dealing with right now.
If the coach wanted Stroud, and this is just speculation, if the coach wanted Stroud, we didn't get Stroud. We could have gotten Stroud.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if somebody overrid this coach, now, like Rashad said, I don't think the results would have been that much different because there's still so many other factors involved. But, I mean, you can't say the owner's giving you everything, and then there's speculation out saying that might not have been the case when it comes to the number one overall pick.
Well, I don't think you made I don't think with the quarterbacks it was a wrong choice. Really, it was CJ or Bryce. There was no wrong choice. I just feel like you're the coach. You got to make it work. Don't tell me, well, he doesn't fit my. This is you, a coach. You're supposed to be the coach for players to. You're supposed to grab everybody and make it work. That's what makes you a great head coach. Don't tell me this guy doesn't fit my system. That means that you're only as good as your system. That don't make you a good head coach. And don't come out here and say, well, we're offensive minded. No, you're making excuses. You're trying to. I can read between the lines. I've been around enough coaches to know when you're throwing players under the bus. He's thrown Bryce under the bus. He's thrown everybody under the bus except for taking responsibility that, hey, I'm trash. My play calls is trash. I refuse to give up the play call because I want to be the one. I want to be that guy. Because he talks mellow tone. He's the same as Matt Rule. He just talks mellow tone and he gives this face and he's crying and I care and oh my gosh, and I'm Carolina. No, I see right through that. He's the same as Matt Rule. It's just, I'm just disappointed with the team, man.
All right, bro. I feel you. I got a bunch of people waiting to get.
Oh, man, no problem, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you for chiming in, but yeah, it's frustrating. Hey, speak your piece, man. It's your time. We're not gonna step over you. You know, you got a right to your opinion. So I listen. We are frustrated. So hopefully things get better, but you know, it is what it is, man. All right, let me get my man Jared in here. Jared, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
How y'all doing, man?
Man, it sucks. I'm gonna be honest. You want me to lie? Say I'm good? I'm not good. I'm not okay, Jared. I am not okay.
I'm just checking on y'all mental health, man.
You know what that tells me?
It's rough right now.
What that tells me? That tells me Jared ain't watched a damn thing. He's been on Twitter.
No, I've watched because of Bryce. That's the only reason I'm watching. If we would have had like Derek Carr or something in here, I'd have been out, going on a run with the dog or something, something like that. Because I missed every game last year. I missed damn near every game last year. I probably saw like 4 Wilkes games, the first Rule game, and that was probably about it.
Yeah.
But people are panicking about Bryce. I've seen that a lot. As far as Frank Reich goes, I'm not sure because he starts off slow and we can't afford to start off slow because we can't compartmentalize like the different years of coaches. Like Matt Rule did a number on us, so we have no time to give grace to anybody. It's like a bad
damaged.
It's a bad X. It's like a bad X, man. Like credit's bad. She done wrecked the car, like stuff like that. It's Matt Rule is like a bad X that you don't want to talk about. So we don't have time to give grace to anybody else. I know Frank starts off slow. I feel like we're going to get hotter after the bye week because those 3 games after the bye week are winnable games. Um, we got to take this one more L against Miami. Hopefully, it's not too bad of an L. Hopefully, it's more like 2020 Kansas City, where we
Just
kept it
don't do
competitive.
70. Don't drop 70 on us. Do
Yeah,
Don't
please
don't
not
don't
pull a
drop 70 on
Denver,
us.
bro.
don't let them drop 70. If it's like 40-30 or something like that, I can deal with it. But do
I
not
take
let them
that.
drop 70. Do not let them drop 70.
And real quick, Jerry, I think you got a good point. After the bye, I think we could get hot, partially because we're gonna get healthy. Probably gonna get Austin Corbett back. That's gonna be huge. We're gonna get back. Maybe I don't know. Maybe JC. Maybe I
And
don't know.
I haven't heard anything about Marquise Haynes. Is he on season
Yeah.
ending?
No. He's not on season ending, but they brought him up a couple weeks ago, and they did say he's probably a couple weeks out. But they have not activated his 21-day window for him to return. So I don't know. But hopefully after the bye we get a little healthy and so get some guys back, and we'll see.
Because we need him after the bye week. We need that opposite Ed Rusher, opposite of Burns, because Justin Houston, thank you for your service, sir. We appreciate you.
I mean, don't do my man Justin. He has a role. It's just not an every down
he's
edge.
the OG. He's supposed to have the OG role, and we're forcing him into a starting role. And I'm looking at that depth chart. If we let Burns go next season, Haynes is a free agent. YGM is a free agent. We got Louvu. We got nothing but Barno, DJ Johnson, probably another vet, a rookie second round, third round pick. It's not looking good for next season. And we
who I want to blame? The cap guy.
Samir?
I'm blaming Samir, yo. I'm not. I think he's
yo,
really
bro.
Why you blaming Samir?
Bro, to today's point, though, you can't play the rollover game and be trash. Like the rollover game with the cap and kicking the can down the road, you got to put some dubs up. You can't do that with garbage contracts.
But I'm saying they're bringing the players to Samir, right? Hey, this is who we want to keep. True. How can you make this work for long term? Samir just rolls the nut. This is what we can do, and then the GM decides, all right, I'm cool with that.
Well, it sound like they both of their asses got to go. That's what it sound like.
Because Fit, he screwed us over with that 2021 draft, getting 11 picks and only possibly 2.5, 2 and a possible panning out. That's what's really hurting us right now.
Yeah, I think
I posted a graphic of all the misses that we had, and there's a lot of misses over the last 5 years. It's a lot of misses over the last 5 years. We haven't hit on an edge rusher outside of Brian Burns. I guess if you want to call Marquise Haynes, since we resigned him, a hit. But it's been iffy as far as like the positions we hit on. We don't have any depth over the years, so we can't afford to let guys like Brian Burns go. It's not like having TJ Watt. You have an Alex Highsmith next to him. So if anybody gets hurt or if anybody has to, their contract's up, you can't just say, all right, we have Alex Smith or we have a Montez Sweat next to Chase Young. There's nothing like that here.
Right.
There's no depth here.
Yeah.
But Hassan Reddick is out there. We could have had Hassan. We could have had Hassan. We could have had Gilmore, but we decided to, retain Dante Jackson, or we decided to retain Ian Thomas, and that's where your money that Brian Burns should be getting goes. That's a fact. So that's why I'm not understanding people saying let's not pay him because we have to fill out the roster. You're filling it out with Ian Thomas's and Dante Jackson's. It's ugly.
Right.
It's
spitting right now. Spitting right now.
That's what y'all want to spend
right now.
Spend your money on the proven guy.
Look, man, you out on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so you got a lot of options of good teams within your region.
Yeah, man, the VPN is beautiful for me. I'm watching all types of great games out here. I'm watching San Francisco. I was able to watch Detroit whoop up on us. They have a beautiful offense. Defense is top 10 right now. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that red and gold, bro. I'm telling you,
49ers
look amazing. That is, oh man. Sometimes I'm just sitting there just in awe.
And they did it with a 7th round pick.
With a 7th round pick because they built the roster so well. That's our issue. We don't build the roster well enough.
Facts. It's roster construction.
We can't even do it with the 1st round pick because we don't build the roster well enough.
Facts. It's true. All true. All right, Jared, you got any other final thoughts you want to get off your chest?
Oh man. Last thing, Scott Fitter's got to go if he lets Brian Burns go because Brian
Already there.
Burns, Derek Brown, and DJ Moore, all three of those were options for the Bears. You decided to let the guy you already had go or already had signed go,
Yeah, that's
and now
simply
you're having
just right.
trouble signing Brian Burns. That does not make sense to me. You could have
Yeah.
saved a lot of headache. You could have saved a lot of capital with the decisions that Scott Fitterer has made. I don't see what value he brings as a GM. I can't say Scott Fitterer has hit on anything beyond J.C. Horn was a hit, but he's injured all the time.
Yeah.
So it's iffy. It's iffy for me with Scott Fitterer. I don't see the value that he brings as a GM.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. All right, let me get Noli in here. Appreciate you joining us, Jared, man. Have fun over
Hey,
there
Appreciate
in
it, Jared.
Vegas.
have a good one.
All right, bro. Noli, what's good, man?
Not much. How y'all doing?
We chilling. We all right. We hanging in there.
Whew. First off, Dave, be careful critiquing Samir. Remember when he was hired? Remember that controversy he had? He said he was a throat slasher, so you might want to be
Don't
careful.
worry, man. I think I'm safe. I'm safe a couple states away. I think if I was living near where Rashad was at, I'd be concerned. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
All jokes
I ain't taking
aside,
that straight for you, though. I
yeah,
ain't, I ain't taking that one.
yeah. All jokes aside, I'm pretty much done with Reich. Uh,
Six games
unless,
in, 5 games in, you're
yeah,
done with them.
yeah. I think this is a mistake hire. The only saving grace would be him giving up play calling, and maybe it works out, but I think we have a precedent set. Nathaniel Hackett won 4 games his first year and was fired. Um, the blame goes all to Tepper. I agree with the first caller who said the coaches are supposed to, elevate what they have. Just look what Steve Wilks did last year with Sam Darnold taking over Matt Rule coaches. Just look what he was able to do without his guys in there. You tell me this man basically got blank checks to sign all the coaches he wanted. Um,
My
full
man,
all
my
full
man, my
offseason
man,
to
Steve
yeah,
Wilkes. My man, Steve Wilkes had our team looking the best we've seen in a long time with Ben McAdoo as his offensive coordinator. I need y'all to let that shit sink in for 30 seconds.
exactly. And Sam Darnold looked the best he had ever done in a Panthers uniform with Wilkes, and like he
I
took
mean,
what
Wilkes played to the strengths of the team, right? The
That's what
strength
you're
was in the
supposed to
run.
yeah
No, that's what
do.
I'm saying. No, I agree. I agree with you, and that's why he was successful. Is that even he knew that the run game was the strength of this team. You had Foreman, you had a battering ram, you had
yep
Chuba, you had a very good run game, an offensive line that was built for the run. So they did that. They did a great job with that. And so with that, even what was frustrating about it though is if the run didn't work, we were going to lose. But we were able to dominate and impose our will on teams because the run was so good. I mean, so to your point, Wilkes did a great job playing to his, and he didn't have guys that he picked. He was
yeah
playing with what he had, and he was getting W's. That's what makes it frustrating because Frank Reich, again, they went out and built this team with Scott
hmm
Fitterer. You have what you have, and you can't make it work with what you have. What you have out there, again, that offensive line, maybe not built to. It's not built to, pass protect 48 times a game.
yep
We got to start running the football successfully, and we can't do that. And so the run game is not working. This zone run that they want to work, the Thomas Brown, LA Ram inspired Frank Reich run, it's not working. It's
no
not working. So you got to switch your scheme. So the criticism of Reich, he deserves every bit of it.
Yeah, and a person asked Thomas Brown in an interview, do you think it's because, last year they ran a lot of power and trap and counter? Do you think, you bringing over the zone, do you think that's why they've struggled? And Thomas Brown was basically like, that's an excuse, which I get it from a coach standpoint, but
He's gonna say that.
from a coaching standpoint, Wilkes showed that he's the better. Like, and again, I'm someone who I was okay with the Reich hire. If anybody was gonna, I wanted Wilkes, but I was like, okay, if you're gonna hire anyone else, I wanted Reich, but. This just looks like a miss. I'm sorry, it does. Wilkes showed you his coaching prowess, given the circumstance, the hand he was dealt. I can only imagine. Like it is hard for me to envision we are 0-5 with Steve Wilkes as the head coach. And the biggest issue I see is there is not alignment between Tepper, Fitterer, and Reich. They talked about alignment all again. This does not seem like an organization that has alignment between those three, and even you can throw Bryce in there. You got the owner out here saying that uh, Bryce is a point guard. This is not basketball. This is football. Why are you bringing up point guard? I get the reference, but like he can distribute the ball, yeah, to dudes who can get open. And so I don't know if he'll do it. To me, it seems like Tepper is not going to give Reich as long as the leashes he gave Rule. But yeah, I'm pretty much done with Reich. I would have no issues if he's one and done. I don't see how he's making anything better. I want to see if he gives up play calling after the bye week, but I'll continue to watch. But yeah, I think Reich is headed down the Hackett path if things don't change quick.
So real quick, shout out to Shifty Buttons with the super chat. Fitty has spent something like 11 picks on QB since he took over. Call the bouncer to get this man out the club. I want to roll back to a tweet not a tweet, but a message. I like this. Culture is built, not bought. This version of the Panthers has no soul, and I completely agree with this.
Yeah,
completely agree with this.
Yes,
completely. You could tell the cult and that the one underrated aspect to what Wilkes brought. And I love Wilkes. I agreed to. I like that we moved on to get an offensive guy. Obviously, this shit is not working out. Period. So I can own up to that. But what Wilkes brought to this team was some soul. Yeah. He brought some physical. We had identity, and that's what's missing from this. This team has no identity. They just look like they're out there, collecting. I don't want to say they collect because they do work hard. I don't want to do that to any players, but it just doesn't look like they're playing inspired football. There's no, outside of Frankie Louvu, who plays with passion like every play, I'm just not seeing it across the board. They just look frustrated. Nobody seems to have answers. So I love this. Shout to you, my boy Blue. I like that. That was just a really good chat right there. All right. No, you got anything else before I move on? Got a bunch of people to get to.
Yeah, if you're in the North Carolina area, I think ABC stores have restocked on Casamigos. So if you want to have some of that during the games,
drink your sorrows away.
Pretty much.
Keep pouring,
bruh. Save your liver.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I hope y'all take care. Appreciate it.
Have a good
All right,
one.
man. Appreciate you, Deontay. What's good, fam?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey. So I guess I'll just start off by unless you want to do that super chat real quick.
Yeah. Carry on. Choice says no soul and showed after that late hit on Bryce. Yeah, great point. That's a great point. Nobody came to protect him. No coming to the defense of the quarterback. Your young rookie quarterback too. At that. So, yeah, man. Go ahead, Deontay. How you feeling, man?
Hey, man. I got to be honest. I'm a little down and disappointed, but I'm not completely out of it, right?
Is you smell that, Dave? Is that a little bit of optimism? Are we coming through with some optimism, Deontay?
Because I feel like there's a way out of here, right? Like this is what I've been saying for a while, right? The question, if I'm Tepper, I'm asking is, are we all in or are we out? Like, are we not for this year? If we're all in, honestly, a lot of people are going to hate what I'm saying, think I'm crazy. But if you're all in, you got to trade you got to do whatever you got to do to surround Bryce with skill, talent, and weapons, right? So 2024 picks, any of them. All of them up for grabs. Any player beside Bryce really is up for grabs. And the reason I say this is, I don't know about you guys, but I hate having a GM and a head coach that's not tied to the hip, right? Like, what are you going to do? You fire Reich, and then now you got to get another one who's not tied to Fitterer and vice versa. Yep. No, I think you got to wait it out that's why I say 2 years. And if you look at a lot of other teams in the league, the Cardinals really laid and they're not the greatest, organization, but they really laid the groundwork for it, where it's like, all right, the Cardinals after 1 year, they got rid of, Wilkes and Rosen. You see the Dolphins, like, yeah, Tua is killing it now, but honestly, a lot of their fans, because of injury, right, they're about to get rid of him. You see Eagles fans with Hurts. It's the rookie cap has made it okay for you, whether we would have drafted CJ Stroud or Bryce, whoever. It's not going to be detrimental for you if you have to move on after a year or two. So that's why I say, what I'm saying, you got to get rid of any of the 2024 picks. And here's the last thing I'll say for that too. even if we draft somebody for 2024, are you really trusting fit? Right? Like, I'm not going to say whether I do or not, but you have to ask yourself, do you trust Scott Fitterer with the picks? And even if you don't, if you fire Frank Reich, are those picks going to fit the next regime scheme? You have Terrace Marshall as an example of it's like, all right, this guy doesn't even fit what the coaches are trying to do. And that's why I'm like, you go all in, you get veteran players because we don't have any soul or culture on the offense. And that's what you got to do to surround Bryce with people. You get veteran players for Bryce. And then worst case, you reboot in 2025 with most of your picks. It's not that crazy. It's only 2 years before you're in a you're, and I'll end with this because I don't want to take too much of your time. My bad. But you'll have a new coach, new GM, lots of cap, and almost all your draft picks just in 2 years. And that's worst case, bro. That's worst case. Best case, Bryce is the guy. You do what you got to do in 2024 to get answers with some weapons for him. And then in 2025 with all your picks, then you re-up and you make a big playoff push. So it's not that, you know what I'm saying? It's still a little hope.
Yeah, so I think you brought up a great point earlier in regards to the ping pong between hiring a coach and hiring a GM. Like, they have to come in together. I've been saying that for the longest. And what's going to happen, hypothetically speaking, everybody wants Fitterer gone. What happens if we fire Scott Fitterer? Are you going to promote from within? Or are you going to then hire a new GM that is not tied to this head coach? And then the same thing, you're going to keep ping ponging. And it started when we got rid of Rivera and kept Hurney. And this has been going back and forth with this firing GM, firing coach, hiring GM. So we got to figure that out. If you're gonna, and I agree with your plan here, is wait it out these next couple years or this next year, right? Go through this year, go through 2024, and then if it's not going well 2025, rip the Band-Aid off, cut everything, get rid of everybody, and start from complete scratch. So I agree with what you're saying. Go ahead, Dave. Were you gonna say something?
No, I'm good. No, I completely agree with what you just said, bro. Like I concur with what Deontay was going at. So, good call, Deontay. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Anything else, Deontay?
No. I hope you guys have a good night and keep pounding.
All right, man. Hey, gotta have a little bit of optimism sprinkled in there. So
gotta have some.
Shout out to Deontay, man. All right, Q, what's good, man?
Fellas, we in a mess. We in a mess.
But how dirty is it, sir? How dirty is it?
It's so bad when your head coach goes to the podium and lets everybody knows that your owner is very inclusive on everything that's going on, which signifies that the mess we are in is caused by our owner. Hands on is what he is. Too hands on is what he is. Look, man, I'm not going to waste a lot of y'all time tonight because y'all already know what time it is. Tepper is the problem for which we sit. You already know his impatience has already gotten us in situations where we can't get ourselves out. And I'm telling you right now, the situation is patience. We don't have any. You got a quarterback that your coach does not know how to really coach. You have a quarterback, a team, like you said. We got a zone run offensive line. You trying to get out here and pass block for Bryce Young. It's not going to work. You got a lot of pieces, square pegs trying to fit in the round holes on this entire team all the way around. Defensively, it's no better. I saw your boy CJ. He trying to get himself up, Rashad, but it's not enough.
Listen. He's not the greatest, and I'll admit that the train got some damages that might be irreparable. We might be out of business, but I think, and I say this again, I said it earlier, CJ is the least of our problems right now. If y'all want to pile on CJ, cool, but we got bigger problems than CJ Henderson.
So check this out. When you got to make a weekly meeting to talk about anything. Now, what billionaire owner do you know have time to come in weekly and say, okay, tell me what's going on? What new acquisitions we're going to do? What new are we going to do offensively? Too many hands in the pot, Bubba. It's too much going on. We are in a mess right now. We should have stayed with Bridgewater as the stopgap. If you were going to make that move, you should have stayed with it. Patience is a mug. I'm not going to, I ain't going to be cussing, but I'm going to tell you like this. The lack of patience has us in this position where we done gave up 11 picks, 2 players, and the situation keeps getting worse by the day. And we may not potentially even sign our best player in Brian Burns. So, and the worst part is I don't think that they're going to try to trade him before the week 8 deadline. I think this is such a clusterfuck of a situation where these boys are in that they're going to mismanage our best player.
Yep, we just talked about that earlier. That the fact that if we don't get anything back for him, that's just unacceptable. Like if you don't extend him, cool, but at least get some daggone capital back. You got to get something back, and especially when you had a couple of offers on the table prior to that, where the Rams was willing to give you a couple first rounds, and you declined that, and you're not going to extend them. It looks like a freaking mess. So you're right. It looks bad. It looks bad across the board, bro.
Well, it's bad because now everybody know you're trying to give them up, and who's going to give you full compensation for something that you know that's going to get ready to either walk or either you're not going to pay him. So you're in a situation now. This team has Tepper, it has Scott Fitterer, and Frank Wright to thank for the situation because Frank should have never ever said yes to coaching a boy that he knew he had no idea how to coach. He should have said never went along with the flow. He should have opened his mouth and not be a damn yes man. So you being a yes man, not having balls, you want to wait till now after everything is in a funk and you 0-5 and you want to come out and throw your owner up under the desk. Well, it's a little too late now, Bubba.
Yeah, man, I feel you. All right, Q. I got a bunch of people to go
yes, sir.
through, man. I appreciate you you sliding through. Pause. So come anytime, man. All right,
all right, fellas.
White Chocolate Espresso. Hey, White Chocolate Espresso in the build. I thought I was talking to MLK for a second. My man came in sounding like daggone MLK.
He had a dream, man.
Denzel.
That one day
like
we'll
Denzel
have a winning record again. One day
Facts.
we will walk
Facts.
into
I had
Bank
a
of
nap.
America Stadium.
I had a nap. Dave, he had a nap. All right, White Chocolate Espresso. Go ahead, man. Go. What you got, bro?
I mean, at first, where I rank the biggest problem is obviously Tepper, but he ain't getting rid of him. Scott would be second with me because he just doesn't draft well, like at all. As far as Frank goes, I wanted Wilkes. I was with Dave. I wanted Wilkes, and I did not want to trade up for a rookie. I was cool at 9. But I actually had Frank as my second to last choice. Only one I had below him was Sean Payton because I did not want to give up draft capital. But they turned the ball over 3 times yesterday to 0 takeaways. You're not going to win games like that. You got Sanders out there fumbling balls, turning the ball over. I'm not a big fan of his play calling, but at the same time, when you have 3-0 in takeaways, you ain't winning at all.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean,
that's pretty much all I got.
I feel you. Dave, got anything to add to that?
It's demoralizing to watch, bro. Like I can't. It's getting difficult. Like I didn't watch the game until today because I was traveling on Sunday. That's the reason why I wasn't watching the game. I was traveling on Sunday. But when you got things like this, bro, it's insanity.
And I figured we kind of knew what our weapons were coming in because we were shopping at the bargain bin, and that was pretty much the best that was going to come here. Like we had to beg Adam Thielen to come here. He's been balling too, but
yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a great point. Guys got to want to come here, and that's going to be a difficult part moving forward. But all right, anything else you want to add? I got a bunch of people to get to.
You good? No, just keep your head up.
All right, hey, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. All right, Too Busy. What's good? How you feeling? Sorry, we've been waiting for a long time. My apologies.
It's fine. I'm new here. So guys, I've been a long time Panther fan. This is my first time on here, so happy to be with you guys.
Thank you.
So I'll just say this.
And welcome to the family, by the way. Welcome to the family.
Thank you. I'll just say this. We in trouble. We in so much trouble I mean, the main media don't even acknowledge us. I mean, I hear them talk about the Bears are the worst team. Meanwhile, we the only old team with no wins. We don't even get credit for being the worst team.
Yo, how
That's
you
how
not get
bad
credit?
we are, bro. We don't. You got polls going up for betting who gonna get fired, the top 10, and Frank Reich ain't even on there, bro. And we the worst team.
Yo, fans said we don't even get credit for
We
being.
don't get credit for being the worst team. That's how bad we are. We don't even exist. We don't even exist. That's where we are. We in the realm of non-existence.
Yo.
Like we not even.
You didn't know the NFL only has 31 teams
Oh
now.
man,
Jesus,
yo, that
that's
is
how bad
funny.
we are. They won, and we got the number one pick. And you know, every time a number one pick go, they always talking about the team with the number one pick. They not even talking about us with that.
Because we don't have it anymore.
Yeah,
It goes
we
to
ain't got it. We gave it
Chicago.
to the Bears.
It
That's
goes
why
to
they
the
No,
talking
I'm
about the
Bears.
just
Bears.
saying we got the number one pick last year, and you know how they usually follow that team with the
Gotcha,
number one
gotcha.
pick,
They did
Yeah, you're right.
initially. Then they
They
looked. It was
did.
like,
They started.
nah, these
Yeah,
bro.
guys ain't
This
good.
all-star coaching staff, like I understand, guys. Tep, he ain't going nowhere.
no,
Arguing that man is a moot point. He ain't going nowhere. We got to deal with that. Let's all just sink that in our brains. He's
facts.
not going nowhere, especially with his attitude and how he move. That man ain't going nowhere.
Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Charlotte. If you're watching, if you're listening, if you want him to go somewhere, don't pay for the stadium.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the Panthers ain't going nowhere, man.
Don't
We
go
gonna
I
give
to,
up
know.
if
all
you
that
really
money.
want to feel,
I
don't
know.
go
I
to the
know. Then ain't gonna lie.
games or nothing. I think half of this is him going in these meetings with Frank is him trying to micromanage because he didn't do it with Rule and it backfired. So now he doing all these meetings every week. He probably telling them what about Sanders or what about all these people I'm paying for? Hey yo dog, Sanders averaged 2.5 yards a carry, my dog. Sit that man down, snatch his chain away like he knew. I'm done. All right? I'm done. Give me that back. You thought I was feeling you for real? No, I'm not. Give
She
me that
said,
back.
"Snatch
Yo,
the
that's
chain."
funny. That's funny.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm over that.
I
Bryce,
feel you.
look, he a rookie, y'all. He a rookie. All of that talk earlier. Oh, the processing. Yeah, he got that, but he a rookie. He about to throw interceptions. He about to do that. We just gonna have to do. He not a bust, but he do got some horrible scheming around him
Agreed.
and all of that. And the line is messed up. But it's injuries. There's a lot of things going on with this team. But if the last thing I'm gonna say here, that's the last thing. Frank got to give up that book. Pass the sticks.
Pass the sticks, Thomas
Pass the
Brown.
sticks.
Pass the sticks.
You don't know who's in the game. You don't know who's not in the game. You don't know that. Oh yeah, I should have called that timeout. Hold up. Hey yo, Joe Biden, it's time for you to get you somebody. You got a young, ripe, blossoming man over there named Thomas Brown. Mind is just immaculate. He's right there. Let him blossom, if you will. Just let it go. It'll be okay. We might actually like you for that now.
It's true.
The team
That's
might actually be like, okay, Frank making some changes. I don't know. I'm gonna get a little hate. Let it go
yeah.
and let God.
Yeah,
Please.
I agree. I can't disagree with that. Wonderful caller. Too busy. You were great. The people love you. They want you to have a segment. We might have to work this out. We might have to talk on the side. You know what I mean? It's a great,
I got
great,
you. I got you.
great
Oh
call.
Lord, this is gonna be
Very
fun.
informed. I love it when women come up here and talk. It's great. Love a woman that loves football and can
Knows her
talk it. It's
stuff
great.
too.
Cause my wife, she don't want to talk no football. So it's dope. Come back on the show anytime. You're welcome to come here anytime.
I got you, fellas. I sure will.
Have
All
a
right.
good
Thank
one.
you. Thank you so much.
All right.
I got 2 super chats. Let's do those real fast. Shout out to Alvin. Only way to get Evero to make a lateral move was to give him a bag. Can we leave Tepper credit for that? Sure, we can give him credit for that, but it doesn't change the fact that he hasn't won a game. His team hasn't won a game this year. But carry on. Shout out to T Holiday. Fire Fit and Right promote Evero and Wilson, but Tepper wants people who looks and smells like him. See, I ain't gonna go there tonight. I'm not doing that tonight. Pretty the super chat though. Sam, what's
Jay
up,
Simp,
man?
what up, man? Long time no see. How you been,
I
man?
know. It's like a throwback episode tonight.
It is.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fine because I get to get my shit up every week with Noli. We call each other every week after every game, and I get to talk and vent, and so now I get to do it with y'all. So it's good to be back. First and foremost, hope y'all are both well. Can we get a year where the season's not over by Halloween? That'd be nice. That would be nice. Can we make it to Thanksgiving with some false hope? Man, we could just go on a run. We just go on a little run. We got 6 games left.
Last year we were getting
No. We was 1-5 last year. The season was over for Halloween.
No, it wasn't. We were in the playoff, first in the division at one point. Halfway.
Come on,
Come on, dog. Like you gotta give Wilkes some credit here, man. Wilkes is the only coach that didn't have a losing season for that man. Let's keep it a buck.
No, Steve Wilkes did a great job cleaning it up. But if things had stayed the course, it would have been bad. We were 1-5.
You wouldn't have to worry about trading up for Bryce Young if we would have kept Matt Rule the whole season. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
They brought Wilkes in to close this out, to finish the year, and he finished it all right.
Yeah. A couple things though I want to hit on. For me, I understood what we were working with on December 2nd, 2018. Do any of you know what happened on that day in Panthers history? I'll give you a little hint. Game down in Tampa Bay, December 2nd, 2018.
Nah.
That is when, on the fly, middle of the year, Ron Rivera randomly switched to a 3-4 defense.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all remember when I came on here after that and started roasting the owner? And I told y'all then he was too involved. When you switch your scheme at the direction of your owner, you're screwed.
Facts.
You're screwed. So this notion that I'm not surprised about the meetings. Rivera was on record that he met with Mr. Tepper weekly.
Yeah.
So do I think Rule met with him weekly? Absolutely. He meets with Reich weekly. That's how he runs the show. And when you have a bad owner, ask the Browns how Jimmy Haslam has treated that franchise. We are the get right game. Oh, your run defense has been bad all year. Get right. Miles Sanders in the backfield this week. Oh, your pass game's struggling. Okay, well, Dante Jackson and J.C. Henderson are both out, or Dante Jackson and J.C. Horn are both out. So we're just going to throw it deep at C.J. Henderson. And if we don't catch the ball, we get in a PI.
Facts.
Oh, you can't get after the quarterback. Well, we're going to have our safety just run on the outside and just run past Ike Ekwonu. We the get right game. We are the toilet bowl of the NFL. We are the laughing stock of the NFL, and it sucks. And it sucks because I love this franchise. I've sat through some tough years. Brian St. Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
How many of y'all know that name?
I know. There was a trivia question earlier this year.
I sat through some tough years, some lean years with Carolina. And it's just more of the same as long as you have a meddling owner. And we can't change that. It's the one thing we can't change. You can march on Mint Street, try and get the coach fired. You can change the GM.
And that's our article can change it.
How would you say?
And that's our article can change it.
Some sort of scoop, some scandal. We got to start digging, bro. We got to start digging for some tea.
There's no scandal with Tep, man. I'll give Tep that much credit. He's actually an actual decent. He's a pretty good human being.
No, yeah, he's a decent human being.
He's a nice guy.
He's really in all seriousness, he's really taken the football ops side to a better level. It's just he's too involved on the roster management.
He's micromanaging the hell out of this team, man.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And let me hit these super chats real quick. Michael, he says, I don't even feel sorry for y'all. Y'all came into the season cocky, and as a Falcon fan, we told y'all rookie coach and rookie QB, y'all gonna be trash. Now look, 0-7. Bryce Young is king. He's smart. Ha 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 ha. Hey, he's right. We did. And coming to the round table, we were talking cash shit. So I can't even say nothing back to homie. So hey, I appreciate that super chat though. But you're right.
In terms of moving forward, where do you go from here? Couple quick fixes. I know y'all got more people to get to.
No, they good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You gotta move off Miles right now. And I'm not saying completely bench him, but he and Laviska can kind of split reps at running back. More power, more trap, more of that inside zone stuff. Not inside zone stuff. Stay away from the outside zone stuff. Yeah. You got to get Icky going downhill. That's where he's best. That's his bread and butter. Stay out of the third and longs, obviously. Some of the things aren't fixable. Adam Thielen's a dog, but he shouldn't be your number one at this point in his career. He's a great number two.
So that's it.
You just kind of like some things you just got to work through. Developing Mingo, see what you get there. Hurst, I think you can definitely use him in the pass game, but it's always going to be some degree of limited because we just don't have the guy. So you have to create it. And that's that on the offensive side of the ball. I will say, me personally, I think people are overemphasizing the need to go to Thomas Brown. That's just me. We've never seen him call plays ever.
It can't be worse than what we got now.
That's one thought process. And if that's where you're at, I'm cool with that. But but what if he goes and he calls plays and it looks more or less the same? Then what?
Then that's the
Noli
case.
said,
we know he'll be back as the OC next year.
My thing is, I just feel like people are like hampering on that as if we got Mike McDaniels on the sideline handcuffed, and I don't think it's that degree.
No,
that's my thing.
But one thing is certain: what we got going right now ain't working.
Yeah. And so just to clarify your point, we have seen him call plays in the preseason. We haven't seen him call games in the regulars. Just to make sure, because I'm probably gonna say that.
Absolutely. But I'm saying in a regular season game,
for sure,
with starters on the field.
You're right.
We've never to people. I just feel like the sentiment is like people are acting like we have this great tool that we know what it looks like, and I'm saying, hold on, we don't know what it looks like. And if we don't want, if there is a point where he does call plays, it's after the bye.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think people can take a look and see what the Rams offense is doing, and they can say, all right, well, at least he came from that. He knows what it takes. And so when you see guys like the homie that's getting off and we over here struggling, like people are looking at that and like, yo, why can't we? He knows what that looks like. He knows he was under McVay. Why can't we see that under here? So I see why people will want to move to Thomas Brown and maybe, but at the same time, you're right. We don't know. We just don't know if it's going to get any better. But I agree with Dave too in that hell. I mean,
can't get any worse.
Can't get any worse. Yeah, I mean, so like
it can, but I'll play the odds. Odds.
That's fair. I just think right now I don't see it realistically moving to him until at least the bye.
I agree with that. I think after the bye,
and I really mean that, like, in fairness to him, like he needs a full week of prep, 2 weeks of prep for something you've never done. Middle of the season, make a change like that. That's a big change to just do because people are mad. You're 0-4, you're 0-5, whatever it is.
I agree.
And then moving forward, you all were always more on the chain, specifically you, Rashad. I don't mean this as a diss. Y'all were more on the by any means necessary, go get Bryce.
I was.
When I looked at and I tweeted it out. So anyone that wants to check it can go look at our Twitter. I said, I don't see a guy in this draft worth moving up to 1. I told Noli this. I have my internal gut is we moved up in the wrong draft. I'm not saying Bryce is a bust. I'm not saying but to me, when you have the guy, it does not take this long to know if you got one. Even if everything around him is bad, when you got one. And I'm not saying he's a bust. Again, I'm not saying that by any measures, but I do feel like Tep made the mistake with Rule of trying to do something that's never been done. I'm going to bring in a college coach, and he's going to take me to the height of winning a Super Bowl. He's now made the decision, I'm going to bring in a guy that's 5'10", however much, that we've never seen be the guy that leads a team to a Super Bowl with those statures and those measurables. And I'm that internal gut feeling, I can't get off that.
So I agree with your point and how you correlated that to Matt Rule and doing things that never been done. I agree with that point, but I push back on the fact that that you don't know if you would know by now if you had the guy. It didn't take this long. I would disagree. There's been some guys that have struggled mightily their rookie seasons and have turned to be like Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So I would So I would give him. Again, I just think that the scenario right now with where we stand, even more recently than Peyton, I mean, there have been some guys that struggled. I would just say that, I think Bryce is capable. I just don't know that the support system is there. And I'm talking about offensive line. I'm talking about skill position. I'm talking about run game. I'm talking about coaching staff. So I think there's a lot before you get to blaming Bryce. I think there's a lot of things we need to check off as an organization first before we can get to saying Bryce is a bust. That's all I'm saying. So,
and again, I just want to be very clear. I am not calling him a bust.
No, for sure. Agree.
Okay.
Agree.
So I mean, that's kind of
okay. Go ahead.
That's all I got.
I gotta get some folks to get to, but you're good.
Cool. Appreciate y'all for the time. Y'all be good. Okay.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Jason. Don't go another year without seeing us, man. Check in, fam.
Y'all gotta have us on more.
True. That's true. I gotta open it up. My bad. That's on me.
You gotta do better there too.
Y'all be good though.
All right, peace out, bro. Nivraj says Tariq might break the NFL single game receiving yards record against us on Sunday, and I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. So could be a thing. Deontay says, where Jim Caldwell at? He was an option at head coach. It's a good point. Good point. What is this proof that Tepper's meddling? Because Frank Wright said it in the press conference that he's meeting with
them every week.
Yeah, so it's pretty apparent that is happening. If Brown plays
if Brown play calls less on Wright's play and prevents mistakes like calling a play for a player sub out or forgetting to play someone entirely. That's a good point.
It's a good point. Good point. My bad. Go ahead, get this one too, Dave.
Shout out to Big Low Country Sports. What in the world, Bo? Can I get a da-da-da-da-da-da? That's a Superman chat. Next NFC South Roundtable going to be fun.
No, it ain't going to be fun because I ain't coming. I ain't coming, Big Low.
Of course
I ain't going to it. I ain't going to it. Garris, what's good, bro? I'm not going to the next big NFC South Roundtable. I abstain. I'm not going.
Oh, man. Said
I don't blame you.
Garris, what's good with you, man? Get it off your chest, bro.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Dave, Rashad. First off, Aggie Pride.
Hey, Aggie Pride all day.
Listen, man. We're going to get our ass beat by Delaware, but it's okay. We'll be all right.
Hey, I already accepted it. We moved to this new conference. People are already high. I had to tell them we moved to a new conference. It's going to take some time, but you know how the old heads are.
Yeah. They asked for
already talking about firing the coach.
They can't go fire him this year.
Right about
I've seen
that.
the contract. They're not firing him. I've seen the contract.
Not at all. But as far as the Panthers though, yes, there's a Tepper problem. I think one thing I saw today, I saw a tweet about this that got me thinking. Ben Johnson came out there. Well, I think he was supposed to come out there, but all of a sudden he changed his mind. Now I wonder is what Frank Wright said today or the other day might have been a reason why he decided not to come.
Absolutely. And he ain't the only one, Ben Johnson, that declined to not come to Carolina. He ain't the only one. And that's the reason. And you hit the nail right on the head. That's the reason. People don't want to deal with that. You want your boss to run over you. You want your boss
I
hovering over
have.
you when you at work? Nah, let me cook.
Oh, exactly, man. Actually, I kind of had something like that happen today. He came in for like 10 minutes, told me to do 2 things I need done at the end of the day, and just walk right out. So yes, I know how micromanaged can be sometimes. And hey, you just gotta let them cook. You gotta let them cook. But Fitterer also is not helping in this at all. What I thought was going to end up being a pretty good 2021 draft is totally the opposite. I actually wanted them not to trade for Sam Darnold in the first place. They should have stayed their ground. I mean, and if it was going to end up being Justin Field or Mac Jones, you take one of those two. I mean, I think this whole thing really started with them trading for Sam Darnold and not being patient with Teddy Bridgewater. They should have just kept with Teddy Bridgewater, even though he probably wasn't doing that well. Probably could have just gone ahead and get somebody to back him up for a year or two. And then once we're all totally through with Teddy Bridgewater, get the rookie in there. You could have saved some picks. You could have not having to trade for Baker Mayfield. You wouldn't have to spend a whole bunch of other picks just to go and get Bryce Young. You still could have kept DJ Moore, maybe still have money to sign Brian Burns, and we probably won't be as bad as we are now.
Yeah, it's a great point.
I've been saying for a while that since new ownership has come through, they've lacked the patience needed to do this properly.
Exactly.
They've lacked the patience, and now the fan base has none. Like we gave that's the thing, right? So initially, we had much more patience than what we currently have, and now we have none. So like that's why when we started this season, when I asked Rashad the question, do you see a scenario that Frank gets let go in 1 year? And that's why I was like, what if we go 1-17? What if we go 1-16?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see it, Dave, but I can certainly see it, bro. I think that it's getting nasty out here. I think the home games and the home game reaction is gonna get worse and worse and worse. That first, when we come back from that bye and we have that home game and we 0-6, and it's and the first drive we go 3 and out, bro. The Bluebirds is gonna be crazy. They're gonna be
The paper bags are gonna be out, fellas.
Yeah, the paper bags are gonna be out. Yo, people, it's nasty out here. So Dave is right. Like the patience, we had patience, and now because what going back to Jared's point is that we can't separate regimes. At the end of the day, we just want to see consistent W's, right? And we can't get it. And so if you're not getting consistent W's, it don't matter who the coach is. We fed up. Because all we see is LL. Since he bought the team, it's just been consistent L's, no matter who the coach is. So it's nasty out here. It's nasty out here, bro. It is nasty out here. Big Low, I'm telling you, I'm not coming. Big Low, hey, bro,
you gotta come, bro.
I'm calling out.
Oh, now you got COVID. Okay, gotcha. Now you out here running out. You out here.
But yeah, so Garrett, you got anything else you want to add? I got 2 more to get to.
Actually, let me add one more thing.
Go ahead.
Why are we running zone on the line? That makes no sense to me. We're a power run team. Icky is a power tackle.
Frank Wright is about Frank Wright, bruh.
Look, Frank Wright ain't using the people the best of his abilities. He ain't. This makes no sense to run zone.
I'll disagree.
And then you got Miles Sanders running to some lineman's behind when you got a hole right to the left of you. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, we're obviously not effective at that zone read. We got some stuff to fix schematically, and until that happens, our offense is gonna look bad, and we're gonna be stuck in quicksand. So. But all right, let me hit these super chats. I got a couple more people to get to, then we got to close this thing out. Hey, Gary, appreciate you coming through. And Aggie Pride, anytime we open the phone lines back up, call back in, man. Aggie Pride. All Aggies get priority on the phone lines next time we open it up.
Yeah.
Aggie Pride?
So we got
Aggie Pride.
So we got 2 more folks remaining, but we'll get through these super chats real fast. Shout out to T. How's super chat. This draft, we should have filled our roster next year. Get our QB. Could you imagine Brown and Jalen Carter together? I can imagine a lot of things in life. It's just
playing that imagine game is fun because I can imagine some W's too, but in reality, it's just not.
If I can give you a list of things I can imagine right now, and we got a couple other ones we got to get through. Hold on,
you got a day.
All right, I'm 32 years old and been a Panther fan for 12 years. This season has been the hardest to be a fan. Losing so much draft capital, in my opinion, and picking wrong QB. I'm not ready to say we picked the wrong QB yet. I mean, it's too soon to be having that type of opinion. We can argue that maybe we didn't pick the one for the fit of what the coach wanted to do, but that's a whole different debate that we'll probably have a discussion point when time rolls on. But, I mean, we're talking 5 games into that man's NFL career, so that's not fair to him either. Thanks. Appreciate the super chat, though. And, by the way, man, you just dodged 2010. 2010 was bad.
Yeah.
All right.
True.
Deontay. Appreciate the super chat, my man. Scott Fitt, a GM, to keep things going, not to rebuild. In Seattle, he was the yes man to Pete Carroll. Who was the HCVP of the Hoss? Yes man to year. Yes man to Rule. Yes man to Tep. Yep, I'm with you there.
It's true. Good point.
All right, let's see. We got a couple more. Can we get a nose tackle, please? A noise tackle. We need a noise and a nose tackle because we ain't going to have too much noise in the stadium either.
It's facts. We definitely going to need that noise tackle on that game after the bye.
Yeah,
man. Because it's going to be nasty out here.
Bro, listen, our run game suffers because of it, but I agree. We need a nose tackle bad. Shout out to Caleb Hudson for the super chat. Would you rather have Wilkes and traded our initial pick for Lamar or be where we're at now? I would have just rather have Wilkes, period, and not trade a thing. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I mean, that's what it was. I never, and you guys know I never was a fan of trading up to 1. You guys know that. You know, I wasn't on the, hey, let's tank for Drake May camp, but I was on the, hey, don't give up anything unless you're going to trade somebody that you know you're not going to be able to re-sign. And we made a decision to trade a guy that we did re-sign, and now the guy that's sitting in the pine ain't re-signing.
Morgan said, my man about to see the 2010 season remanifest itself.
As bad as this team looks, not nearly as bad as what I saw in 2010.
All right,
I remember.
I do too. UNC 54, man. What's up, man? You've been waiting for a long time. My apologies. What's good? What you got, man?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm just happy listening to y'all, and I hope this is helping y'all as much as it's helping me.
Yeah, I hope. Hey, listen. Sometimes you gotta talk. You gotta talk your problems out. That's what group therapy. That's what we're here for, man.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
No, it's like this season. It's the first time I hyped myself up for a season since 2018, and it's just like I remember. Like I was in those draft boards. I remember I was on your guys your streams a lot during the off season, just like looking at QBs and all that. And it's like, yeah. But ultimately, I think the problem is Scott more than anything, because I remember when Rule was here, a lot of people would give Scott a pass, saying it's like, oh well, no, Rule has all the control. And then I remember the second Rule got fired, it's just Scott's team. That's all Scott's decisions, and I think he messed up every single one of them. Like he traded McCaffrey at his lowest value, then he passed on Burns for what would have been his highest value, because no one's going to give you 2 first rounders for Burns now. And then I like the decision to be aggressive for a quarterback, because I know I'm a UNC fan and I know Drake May looks good, but you can't predict the future. You got to strike when you have a chance. So I like the decision to move up, but then you already got rid of Christian McCaffrey. Why are you getting rid of DJ Moore too? And if you send Brian Burns, who still has that same high trade value, you could save some draft assets and keep DJ Moore. I know the defense takes a hit, but now the priority is our quarterback. And it's just I know Tepper, about Tepper, it's I don't really know what to think of Tepper. It's I don't know if he's as big of a problem as people say he is, but I do feel like he kind of he does the opposite of what he did before. With Rule, he gave full control. He let him do whatever the heck that man wanted. That man just went crazy. He didn't know what to do. And now he goes the complete opposite. It's okay, well, and I think that's why it's Chad, I remember you talking about when you're hiring coaches, you wanted a young OC. You wanted that type of guy. And I was also on that boat. And I think that's probably why like Ben Johnson didn't want to come, because he probably saw the vibe. It's like, oh, they want an experienced coach.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think Ben Johnson didn't want to come because he didn't want to deal with Tepper. And I feel like that's what a lot of guys did. They saw what was over here. They don't want to deal with the dysfunction. And so
I don't know,
feel
man,
like,
because like there's only 32 jobs though. And like you don't know, like you could be that guy one year and then no one will talk about you the next.
You could also damage.
You could be a DC or an OC and not have to deal with the stress stuff. You think Steve Wilkes? I think Steve Wilkes might have been bummed about not getting the head coaching job, but I'm pretty sure when he got that gig as the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, he is living the dream. He ain't got to deal with this on a week-to-week basis. He is enjoying himself.
Yeah, and you could also damage yourself. Like if you come and be Carolina Panthers head coach and it goes downhill, bro, you might not end up with another job. Like you could damage yourself pretty badly in the wrong situation.
This is a good time to tell the story of George Seifert. George Seifert was a legendary coach for the San Francisco 49ers, won multiple Super Bowl championships with Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, whole nine, right? Phenomenal, legendary head coach in the NFL. On the way to the Pro Football Hall of Fame until he decided to take the job for the Carolina Panthers. He was the first coach in franchise history to never take our team to the playoffs. And he proceeded to end it with a 1-15 year. Got rid of Steve Berline, who is still mad about the fact that he got rid of Steve Berline going into the 2001 season, and proceeded to go 1-15. Now, granted, he got fired immediately after that season. Still ain't a Pro Football Hall of Famer to this day. Would have been a Hall of Fame coach when he take the job in Carolina. By far.
Well, I know you lived that. I'm not that old, but I know you lived that. But
damn, you called Dave old, bro. Goodness gracious.
And my birthday is Thursday. I am so appalled.
I'll be honest. I don't know y'all's ages. I'm just assuming you guys are in your 30s.
Oh God.
Like you are. Well, I am. I am.
I'm not.
All right.
Now I got that. I got that bonus digit last year. Now I got to add another digit to the one side of the fence. You know, my son's in elementary school, so I'd be like 110s. You know.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I didn't live it, but at that time, from my recollection, it's not like the Panthers were a bad job. It's just Seifert got a lot of power and he didn't know how to use it.
I will say this about the Seifert era: that 2001 draft built the foundation for the Super Bowl. That 2001 draft has Steve Smith Sr. in it. I believe First Jenkins was in that draft. That draft built the Super Bowl. That helped build the roster towards it. Then they got Julius Peppers, number 2 overall, because the Spanish team with the Texans in 2002, they got the number 1 pick, and they took David Carr. They protect him, his career, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that was Hurney,
right? John Fox came in, told him that, you ain't man enough to play in the NFL. Then a year later, we're in the Super Bowl. Rest history.
Yeah, I think that's the first Hurney tenure, right? The first Hurney tenure.
That was the Hurney tenure. Yep.
Yeah, but I think that's my point about Scott. It's like you can point to Hurney and say, well, he kicked it out of the park with the first round picks. You can point even Gettleman. You can say, well, he got depth. He was able to get cheap deals and do all that. It's like, what can you point to with Scott? He has a modern process, but that's about it.
No, you're right. There's really no signature Scott Fitterer thing. Like at least, like you said, we could hang our hat on Marty Hurney's first round picks. Like we knew that if we were going to get a legendary,
we got that. We knew what it was.
Yeah,
the rest of the draft could be trash with your Tony Pikes, your Monty Edwards, your Jimmy Clausens. But
we was gonna have a legendary first.
We got some monsters in the first round.
Yeah, we're gonna have a legendary first round pick for sure. Scott, you're right.
Gettleman was out here screwing the boost too.
Yeah, Gettleman wasn't.
I know Gettleman wasn't good, but Gettleman at least there were a couple things he'd do.
He had a couple of decent players in this draft.
He'd get a third round pick. Like I remember, I was looking today at the roster. I'm trying to think of what's the non-first round guy I can hang my hat on and say this guy is essential. I think Taylor Moton's the last guy. I'm like, this guy's a reliable starter. Everyone else,
that's true. I'll give you Moton.
Like you get Chin, you get Jackson, and then they're all right, but you're looking to replace them. Moton's the first guy. Look at him. It's like, well, we don't have to replace him.
John Beeson, yes, he was a first rounder, sir. And occasionally Marty would hit late, like, Greg Hardy, Josh Norman. So he would occasionally hit.
Yeah, them first round. But first
round, own it. He was on it. He's on it. He was on it. It's looking like you're going to be the last one, because the last guy left. So we're about to shut this thing down. Unless you got anything else for the
anything else you want to add, man?
I'm trying to think. I'll probably say something about Frank. I don't think Frank is the problem, but I think he is a problem. Because I think Frank is one of those guys that's like, he's not gonna tank a situation on his own, but he's not gonna elevate it either. And I think that's what we're in right now. We need a guy who can elevate, and Frank isn't that guy.
Well, don't worry. If you don't win some games soon, he ain't got to worry about it too much longer.
He's going to elevate himself right up out of here. But anyway, all right, UNC, man, I appreciate you joining us, man. Next time, you had very, very good thoughts, very good commentary. Next time we open up the phone lines, make sure you come back and join us, all right?
The honor was mine, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, so we're gonna close this thing down, man. This was fun. This was absolutely fun. Again, group therapy. I'm hoping that everybody got it off their chest. We might have another therapy session during the bye. We might have to reconvene, and talk more. See how you guys are feeling. But I'm glad I was able to take a break from putting together this content, because it takes a lot, man. It's taxing. I have been super busy. And I didn't have the energy to do it for this trash team. I'm sorry. I did not have the energy to put together the slides and all the stuff for what I'm getting in return. Right. We got to start seeing some progress for this team. It's frustrating. I'm hoping that Bryce, continues to develop, gets better and better. And I hope that he is not receiving irreparable damage by this coaching staff. Yeah, man.
If the damage starts showing up, you know what he's going to do? You ask for a trade. Dolphins ain't going to drop 70 on us, man. I got faith. Appreciate the super chat, though, A-Cash. I got enough faith to think that we're not going to get 70 dropped on us.
So anyway, with that said, man, we getting out of here. Like, subscribe, notification bell, get in the comments. Still trying to get 25K. We our subs are moving slow. Hit that sub button ASAP. Help your boys out. Welcome to all the folks, that joined us that were brand new, first time callers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Too Busy. Great caller, great addition to the show. We might have to talk a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, again, hit that subscribe button for your boys. We getting up out of here. Peace.